Hey guys, welcome back. This is John from BMW Temple. Finally was able to get our first M8 Gran Coupe in at a customer request. All right, let's go ahead and take a look underneath the hood here. On this 2020 M8 Gran Coupe, you're gonna go ahead and be looking at a 4.4 liter V8 twin scroll bi-turbo engine. Started off in the redesigned M5 and it has made its way throughout a couple of the models of the vehicle. Now, also kind of a relatively new feature for BMW is going to be the remote engine start, which a lot of people here have been a little bit happy, especially in Texas, whenever you are pushing 100 degrees and high 90s in the summertime, you know, you'll be able to actually cool off your vehicle. So kind of demonstrate that for y'all as well, so we can actually get a little bit more in-depth view of this M8. So on the key fob here, you're gonna press the lock button, which is a BMW roundel here on the key. On the third time, you're gonna press and hold. All right guys, so ready? 1, 2. On the third time, press and hold. Lights will flash, emergency brake will engage, and then there you go. Your signature BMW halo eyes will be on. Now, on most vehicles, you will have an active kidney grill in the front, but with M models, it will stay fully open just to get more air intake for this vehicle because it is a performance vehicle. So while this vehicle is running, let's go ahead and take a look on the outside. So starting here in the front, you will see your front lens. That'll be part of your 360 camera. It'll give you a full 360 view. You'll have one in the front, 2 on the side mirrors, and of course your reverse camera in the back. Along with that feature, not only will you get a 3D view from up top, but you'll also help you with reverse perpendicular parking and parallel parking, just to make things a little bit easier. Now, with this vehicle, it's going to come with your iconic BMW laser light headlights. Easy designation is going to see the blue hue inside the lens there, and also on the side of the light, you will see BMW laser. Excuse a little water, guys. It just got done sprinkling around here, but definitely, like I said, I'd like to put out this video because a reviewer requested. Now with the vehicle, it's going to have your 275/35 R20s in the front. Now they will be offsets, and in the rear you'll have 285/35 R20s. Once again, these are going to be on your Michelin tires. So with the Gran Coupe, it will be not just a hair over 9 inches longer than your Coupe version, just to kind of accommodate for the rear space in the back of the vehicle. With the M model, you still get the M badging on the side here, where you're the full functioning vent there to let air pass through. Now, still with the M model, you'll get your M mirror caps there to help with reduced drag over on the car. Now, this one will have your carbon fiber roof. You can get the dual panel moonroof on top, but this one we had opted for the carbon fiber moonroof. As we walk around, you once again take a look at the vehicle. Honestly, the curves on this vehicle are pretty awesome, especially paired in with the reverse lights and the tail lights. I feel like it has a lot more of a bolder stance to it. It kind of has a shape similar to the 6 Series, but you know, I'll honestly say this is amazingly better than the 6 in my personal opinion. Kind of let me know what you think. I'm definitely love to hear what you personally think on this particular vehicle. Like I said, with BMW finally bringing back the 8 Series after a while, you know, it's nice to be able to see what kind of design they're going to come up with. Now, you will have your full functioning quad tailpipes, but dual exhaust here in the rear, and we'll kind of get a little bit of a note there from the exhaust. So let's go ahead and tune in. exhaust note is pretty awesome. We're able to do a cold start on the vehicle and then switch the vehicle into sport mode, which then kind of, you know, deepens up the exhaust note to the vehicle. And, you know, I honestly think it's pretty neat. Now with this specific vehicle, you also have the 8-speed M Steptronic transmission. So definitely shifting is going to be a lot faster than you normally would have in a manual vehicle, just because the shifting points on this vehicle and electronic shifting are going to be almost instantaneously. So there's going to be very minimal or even no lag time when you're shifting. You'll also have your active M differential. So in the back of this car, you will have a few different modes. You have MX Drive 4-wheel drive, which is going to be your your standard all-wheel drive system. Now you will have 4-wheel drive sport that will give a little bit more rear bias to the vehicle. Once again, BMW's all-wheel drive system, or X Drive, is a little bit rear bias. So then this kind of takes it up a notch, putting a little bit more power to the rear of the vehicle, and then you can do a 2-wheel drive system. So in a minute, we'll kind of go over that in the car to how to show you how to change those different differentials on the car. Now, talking about how fast this car can go, you know, you want to make sure you're able to stop just as fast. So take a look at these wheels here. You will be able to see that huge brake caliper. Now that is 6 pistons in the front to make sure you can come to a stop just as fast as you're able to take off in this car. You know, a lot of people kind of like to get up and go, but it's very important at the end of the day to be able to stop just as fast as you'll be able to drive this car. Now this vehicle does not have the M driver's package, so it's electronically governed at 155 miles an hour. But if you do get the M driver's package, it does increase the speed limiter to 189 miles an hour. And then of course you get to go out to the M track, one in South Carolina and the other in California, to be able to drive something similar like this and just kind of experience, you know, the M experience behind the car. All right, so let's go and take a look inside the vehicle. Alrighty guys, so here on the inside of this M8 Gran Coupe, with the remote started, we're gonna kind of follow these directions here so we can take a look at a little bit more of the features in the car. So it kind of gives us some instructions. So before driving off, press the brake pedal and hit this red start stop button here. And then now all your computers will turn on. So we're gonna start with this digital instrument cluster here. So this is going to be part of iDrive 7, once again new for BMW. Now to the right side of the screen you can see different kind of adjustments you can make here on this side of the screen. Now first, efficient is going to be your overall driving and shifting points for the vehicle. There's different modes you can do. You can do efficient, sport, and sport plus. Now, right underneath that is going to be your adjustment for your suspension. So right now we're in comfort mode. You can do sport and sport plus as well. Steering right underneath that for comforts, or you can do sport. And then new for this year is going to be your braking control as well. So you can adjust all 4 of these items at any time. So kind of cool thing is you can program M1 and M2 on this vehicle. So M1 generally from factory is going to be your overall efficient and comfort in the vehicle just for everyday driving. Now if we hit M2, let's see what's designated from the factory. We hit it once and then 2 to confirm. All right, so it looks like from the factory it has Sport Plus for your driving, shifting, Sport Plus for your suspension, Sport for your steering, and in Comfort still for braking. Now it looks like it does take off the stability track on the vehicle to kind of cuts loose of the traction control, and then you are in 4-wheel drive Sport. So it does kind of open up the exhaust note on the vehicle as well. So for now we're going to go and put it back in normal, and we're going to go ahead and turn the DSC on, so that way for normal driving. Take a look at the steering wheel here. M's does really good as far as having a pretty beefy steering wheel. Now it is padded, which it makes things a little bit softer on the feel while you're driving. Now what I also like is going to be the red, blue, and purple stitching that you do get on the inside of this M steering wheel here. Still get the M logo. On top of the dash here, you'll get your leather dashboard with some nice contrast stitching running all the way through the top. Infotainment Center. Now, maybe a little hard to see with the rain, but you still get your your heads-up display that a lot of people love about BMW. Now, when we do go into the M mode, you should be able to get the M heads-up display. All right, guys, so now that we go towards the middle here, you have your climate features, ventilated seats and heated seats are standard on the vehicle, dual climate control with dual fan speeds. As we work our way down, you will have cup holders with your wireless charger available. Now, this does have the black piano wood trim in the vehicle, which is, I feel like, adds a nice touch to the car. Now, you will have some additional buttons that are kind of standard on most of the BMWs, but your start stop button goes from a silver aluminum to a red color start stop, just to kind of give you more of that racy feel. But this is going to be some new buttons that BMW has changed up. Before, it was all the shifting, the suspension, and the steering. Now they kind of changed it. So if you hit M mode, it kind of has pre-designated modes. So road mode is just your everyday driving, and then sport is kind of like your sport plus mode if you're in a non-M. Now, if we go here to the instruments cluster, now it kind of get rid of the normal digital readout to the left of the vehicle, and gives you 2 tachometers running horizontal on the sides. Now, the middle will let you know what your current gear, whether you're in automatic or manual mode, showing you your gear. So let me go ahead and put that. So if we go to the right, it's 1D, 1's gear, D is that your automatic, and then to the left of that, it's going to be how long your vehicle is going to, your transmission is going to hold that gear. Okay, now if we switch it one more to the right, stable 1 just lets you know that you're in full manual mode. All right. Guys, and then once you go into the sport mode, it does change up your heads-up display. Sorry for the blurriness, guys, but then we'll be able to, sorry, I had a little hard time focusing there, but then there'll be your tachometer readout there on your heads-up display. Take a look at the door here. Everything's going to have a nice fit and finish. You're going to have some aluminum coverings for a lot of your buttons, for your memory seating, lock and unlock buttons, your door handle. Harman Kardon surround sound system does come standard in the vehicle. Window switches will still all be made out of aluminum. You've got your leather wrap door handle here with some contrast stitching all the way going through the door panel of the vehicle. Now, kind of getting to the infotainment center here, guys. This is fully touchscreen. A lot of people love that about the BMW's infotainment, just because of before, everything had to be done through the iDrive controller. And there's still some manufacturers that still, you have to operate the infotainment center through their controller panel. Now, one thing I like about BMW's infotainment center, or iDrive in general, was that they were kind of the first ones to do it. Now, with iDrive 7, they changed a lot of your tiles that normally laid out. They're all here to the left. Media, communication, navigation, cars, which are settings, and then apps, because there are certain apps with the vehicle. You have these tiles similar like you would on your phone. You do have different widgets and pages you can add to the vehicle. With the M cars, you get some of these setups here that you would expect for track on the vehicle, or while you do go in sport. But everything is kind of custom, depending on what you're overall looking for here, or what you kind of look for on the car. Now, this M8 is going to be equipped with your driver's assistance package. So what that gives you is your parking assistance plus. So it would be this button here, and when we hit it, it's going to bring up your full 360 view, that it is 3-dimensional. To the right, you'll see automatic parking is checked. That's letting you know the vehicle will be searching to help you find a parking spots and park for you. And what I mean by 3D is if we take the iDrive controller and pull it to the left, you can get a 3D view of your vehicle. And we do bring it up, if you twist the iDrive controller here, or you can do it via gesture control, you can switch to different camera views as if you're looking from the outside. Pull the iDrive controller again to the left, you can go to Carwash Mode. What this then does is, if you are taking your vehicle through the car wash, most people who have their M cars hand wash their vehicles, but if you were to take it through the car wash, it does give you kind of an outlook view with trajectories on the car, so that way you're not curbing up your wheels. So when you do turn the wheel to the right, it does turn with you, and vice versa to the left. So it makes things a little bit easier. It's just one of the things, if you have to go through the car wash, at least you kind of have an idea of where you be driving, so you don't curve up those wheels. Now also with the driver's assistance package, you will have drive recorder, which is pretty new for a lot of the vehicles coming out. Drive recorder basically uses your 360 cameras to record whether you want to use it maybe as like a dash cam, or maybe you want to kind of use it for possibly, you know, and what you can also do is you can use it for maybe if you're doing your track times or 0 to 60s, you can definitely, you know, use this to that advantage. So that way you can kind of keep up with it, see how your driving goes. Cool thing about it is you can manually record it, or you can automatically record it. Now, any recordings you do have, we'll be able to save here. You can export them via USB, so that way you can save them on your computer, on a jump drive, which is pretty cool. Also, another portion of your driver assistance package, you get your blind spot lane departure warning. And these M cars, that's not too sought after. Whenever I do have some of my customers, that's probably one of the last few things on their minds, but they kind of give it to you in a package. Active park distance control, that just basically helps out with the self-parking of the vehicle. Now this one will have your comfort seating package. What that gives you is power rear shade, and also power shades for the side of the vehicle, and heated rear seats. So we'll kind of take a look at that, guys. All right, guys, so take a look back here in the vehicle. Like I said, you do get your rear shade right here in the back glass, and then you will have your shade on the side mirrors, on the side windows there. Now this one is down, but to do the shade, just hit this button right here for the left side. This one's for the right side. So hit this there, and then you'll see your shade kind of come up. Now, take a look at the back of this vehicle. BMW says it's a 5-seater, but realistically, come on, it's only going to be a 4-seater. Now, if we get inside of this vehicle, with the center stack that you do have, you will have your dual climate control in the rear with your own fan speed. You can control whether you want the air blowing at the face or at the feet. And once again, you do have the heated rear seats with auto climate feature in the back. Now you will have 2 USB-Cs that are coming now with a lot of BMWs. They stick with 1 USB-A in the front, but most of them are going to be USB-Cs. Now take a look back here in the vehicle. Once again, you do get the Harman Kardon surround sound system. Now I'm 6 foot. When I got in the front of the vehicle, I kind of moved the seats back normally where I would sit. Sitting behind normally where I would sit. Still have some knee room. I'd be pretty comfortable on a few hour drive. I do like that the rear seats do sit up a little bit higher, which gives us a little bit more natural position when seated. That way you're not getting fatigue like normally you would if you're sitting a little bit lower. But depending on who's riding in front of you, I mean, you can get sufficient amount of leg room on this vehicle. Now, I know most of the time you won't be using this as a family vehicle, but just in case you do have the latch systems there, that way you can secure your child seats or rear booster seats in the vehicle, just if you are carrying the family with you. Now let's go ahead and take a look outside. Open this door here. Now with the M8s, you will have standard the soft closed doors. So if we latch them right there, lock in place, we're gonna close the rest of the door for us. Now, a lot of people like the M8 look just because you still get the coupe appearance of the vehicle, the coupe styling, but you do get the practicality of a 4-door. Let's go and take a look at the rear of the vehicle. All right. With the truck opening, you do have a good amount of trunk space here. So if you are carrying, you know, your family with you, and you do have to put a little bit of room there for a stroller, it will be able to fit comfortably. Looks like a golf bag will be able to fit as well if you decide to go out with your buddies. Now, with the vehicle, you do have a 40-20-40 split on the car. You can lay down the rear seats of the vehicle just by pulling these latches here, and that's something that you'll be able to use for more practicality.